Unity of Houston is an inclusive church where we seek to understand and live the teachings of Jesus and other spiritual masters. At Unity, we welcome all people from all spiritual paths and every walk of life. We celebrate the diversity of our city and of our world, and we teach love, tolerance, and oneness, seeking to live in harmony with open minds and open hearts.
Wherever you are in your spiritual path, you are always welcome at Unity. Join us and discover that the life of your dreams is already within you.
We're continuing our series on When Things Fall Apart, Pema Chodron's book, and tonight I'm looking at understanding loneliness, and that selection was David's idea to bring to us. So this is a beautiful way for us to recognize that with all of the things that we're going through in the pandemic, one thing I hear about is the sense of isolation. People don't say loneliness, but I think that's what they mean a lot of times. It's sort of a sense of not just being by yourself, because being alone is not necessarily difficult or challenging for everybody or all the time. And, you know, we all need alone time. And I personally am somebody who is always seeking alone time. And my family just trails behind me and just shows up anyway. So that's the story of my life, but it's also my blessing, and I know that. But it is always wonderful for me to spend time alone. But that isn't the case for everyone. And in this event, the opportunity to be spending time alone is one thing. It's another thing to actually feel lonely. And loneliness, I have felt, and loneliness is it's where we are disconnected, a sense of being separated, a sense of having a gulf between us, like we're looking at the world through a pane of glass. Like we're voyeurs on it. We can be in the middle of activity and thinking that if I go to that party or if I go to this experience or go outside and join the fair, I'm gonna lift my mood. I'm gonna be in a better place. But sometimes, if I am not in that right space, I bring the loneliness with me. I am still encased in a sense of distraction and separation and alone in a crowd, which of course is something we've heard many times and probably have felt. Paul Tillich, the theologian, says, loneliness expresses the pain of being alone, and solitude expresses the glory of being alone. So you can be in solitude, and as I would describe it most of the time, it's nourishing. It's wonderful to be alone and to be with one's own thoughts and imagination. But to be lonely and to feel a sense of loneliness is painful and difficult. In Pema Chodron, in her way of describing the Buddhist approach to loneliness, she describes it as hot loneliness. Hot loneliness is the heartache and the pain and the restlessness of needing to fix something that's wrong. Feeling alone or left behind or forgotten or doesn't matter. I don't matter, or I'm not remembered, or there's something about I'm not worthy of being with others or being in a place where I matter or I can make a difference. And we find ourselves looking for a distraction, food, people, activity, addiction, you name it. The things that we do, turn on the TV, where we try to lose ourselves or forget about things for a while to remove ourselves from the experience of the pain or the emptiness or the fear, whatever it is. Hot loneliness drives us there. And the Buddhist approach is always to do what we can do to accept and to be present to whatever shows up in our life, whatever we're feeling, whatever is going on, whatever is missing, whatever our thoughts are, whatever our emotions are, to be able to turn this into an opportunity for greater growth and understanding of oneself. Using it as an opportunity to understand and befriend oneself better and to be at peace where there is only pain and restlessness before. It isn't to fix, but with awareness and with spaciousness of surrounding and not trying to fix or change, with an emotional commitment to just be with something, begins the transformation process that I suggested to you in the meditation. A place where you can just simply be and observe and watch how, without attachment, those emotions begin to shift and change and transform into something else, a revelation, an experience, or a piece of information, or into nothingness from which it has come. Pema Chodron talks about using cool loneliness as the ability to be with the feelings and to observe one's reaction with a variety of attitudes, and she's got 6 of them. And if it's convenient for you, I suggest you grab a pencil or a pen, and you might want to jot these down. But of course, you can also come back to this video and you can watch it again later on, and you don't have to take notes if you're not interested in that, but just a suggestion. There's 6 of these, and I want to go through them because one or more of them might just be the answer for you tonight. The first one is less desire. This one is really where we instead of looking for a solution, we narrow our range, and we realize that we aren't going to take action on anything tonight. And so maybe tonight, just for tonight, maybe for just this hour, I won't go seek an answer. I won't use hot loneliness to go and find a distraction or act on it. I'm going to just be with it for this hour, maybe just for these 10 minutes, maybe just for this minute, and then try to make a recommitment in the next minute. Less desire. I'm just going to try to narrow this down a little bit before it overcomes me and I act to distract, right? To try to be with it. Another place you can go is to get bigger than this and to lift your awareness and say, well, you know what? Yes, I have heartache right now, or I have pain, but you know what? The air in this room is comfortable, and my bills are paid today. I don't know about next month, but they're done now. My clothes fit and feel good. My belly's full from my last meal. I'm in a good place. I've got more going for me than just this heartache. The heartache is here. The pain is here. But it's not the only thing that's going on with me, and it's not the only thing I am. And I am bigger than I begin to expand my awareness to more of the good in my life and the people I remember now who may not be in the room with me, who love me. And the last good experience that I had out with friends and how I enjoyed that so much, or the thing that I accomplished, or the thing I'm proud of that I've done or said recently. And I can share and be in that again, relive that again, so that my contentment now becomes more fulfilling and larger than just this heartache. The heartache is still here. I don't ignore it, but I am not immersed in only heartache in this moment. I'm finding a way to feel contentment at the same time. The third thing that she offers is avoiding unnecessary activity. In other words, I may just narrow down the choices for distraction that I'm willing to go do. I might just say, I'm not going to leave this room. I'm going to be in this room, but if I absolutely can't stand it another second, I'm just going to be in this room, and I'm not going to get in the car and drive off somewhere. I'm not going to run down the street. I'm going to just be with this right now. And so what you're doing is you're exercising ways of taking charge and taking power and exercising some degree of self-mastery over something before you were simply reacting to. You would only mindlessly react and without even thinking, unconsciously, grab things to satiate or to distract or to make yourself feel better. Instead, here you are being with this for periods of time, longer than before, and being able to recognize the strength and the power that comes with that. The fourth one is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, complete discipline. Complete discipline is where you are actually able to say, I am going to bring my focus back to this heartache, to this pain of loneliness. I'm just going to be with this pain, and I'm just going to watch it. I'm bigger than it, but I'm watching it. And every time my mind wanders and I start making plans, or I start wandering off, or I start wondering what my husband's doing now, or what my sister might be up to in her life, and then I realize I've wandered off, I bring myself back and I simply sit with this. Is this pain still here? Yes. How big is it? How deep is it? How does it feel? Does it pulse? Is it hot? Is it cold? What temperature? What color, if I were to see it? How is this feeling to me right now? How long can I be with it before I realize I've wandered off and I come back and I make a new commitment to be with this and watch it and see what happens to it? Complete discipline to just be in this moment, unafraid, as long as I can, as many times as it takes. She says number 5 is not wandering in the world of desire. In other words, don't even entertain. Never mind that you're not getting up and you're not distracting and you didn't run out down the street and you didn't go grab some food to eat and you didn't make that phone call and you know all the things that you would have done before, you're doing great now. But now don't even entertain the idea or make a plan about what you're going to do as a reward for all of this good behavior. The desire of the world, like the next thing that you'll give to yourself in some kind of a way. Don't wander in the world of desire. Just allow yourself to be in the beauty of this living moment without attachment, without a plan, with nothing knowing what's coming next. And then the 6th attitude to adopt, to practice, is not seeking security from one's thoughts. And that is calculating what will make you feel better about yourself or about this moment, or how will you, for me personally, that's also about planning. It's like something that I will do to make myself feel better or to relieve myself of this stress or this pain or something. So for me, planning and also not seeking security from my thoughts or not making myself feel better by building myself up. Just to allow myself to have no need to change or fix or address or judge anything. I am only aware. I am only in this moment noticing how I feel, the size of it, the depth of it, color of it, the sensation. Is it changing? Is it hollowing out? Is it thinning out? Is it becoming something else? Watch it, being with it, breathing into it, and seeing what does it become. Self-mastery comes with attention and with practice and with self-honesty. Too often, we tell ourselves some like little lies, don't we? Sometimes we tell ourselves, it's going to be better, I'm doing better, I will do better. We try to pump ourselves up a little bit, and it's nothing wrong with that, but it is unnecessary. It's again a grasping. It's again trying to control. It's again a reaction to saying something isn't the way it's supposed to be. Something's not right here. Something's not good in me. Something's not right inside of me, and I need to fix it, change it, make it different. And self-mastery would just say, here I am, as I am. A little messy, kind of stinky, messed up, out of sorts, heartache again, hungry, crabby, making excuses, defending, hurting, slobbery, whatever. What comes on the other side of these kinds of examinations and this tolerance for discomfort for a little bit longer, is a peace that passes understanding. Peace exists in every moment. Peace exists in chaos. Peace exists at the base of every experience you will ever have. Peace is the bedrock from which your soul rises. You are always inextricably connected to peace, and you may not be feeling it. But when you stop and you allow it, it will arise of its own, and it will take over your life. It is both the prize and the evidence that you have achieved freedom from your thoughts and your mood. It will saturate through things. Even when conditions haven't changed, peace can be there. A friend of mine who suffers from bouts of loneliness and depression in his life has shared some strategies with me, and I have his permission to share them. Things that work for him. They're very specific to what it is that he uses for himself, and I offer this to you as an example. He says when he's feeling lonely, his MO has been to distract himself, to just run out and get on every electronic device he owns and try to run them simultaneously. Like just trying to connect up, get out, get his shoes on, get out the door, go and throw himself into anything for distraction. But what he finds is that he needs to find places, he says, where he can be vulnerable with others. He said that's typically 12-step and recovery friends that he has cultivated in his life. He says, otherwise, I pretend to have it all together, and I wall myself off from others, which only makes it worse and makes me feel even more alone, even if I'm in a crowd. It's like pretending that you got it, making when you're not feeling it at all. And honestly, as I think we all know, we're not, most people don't believe it anyway. You can sense that something's not right. And you take people at their word, but at the same time, you don't feel connected because there's no there. There's a wall, and you can sense that. He says he also journals. He says, my wound is that I feel like I don't exist or I don't matter. That's my wound, and that's what makes me feel so lonely and cut off from the world. So he says, journaling helps me put my thoughts down in concrete form, and I prove to myself that there's evidence that I exist. Like Descartes, he says, I think, therefore I am. He says it helps, It helps because he says he puts his thoughts down, and there he is on a piece of paper, something he can point to. If anything happens to me, I've left this behind. And that gives him a sense of connection and comfort, a sense of validation. That works for him. He also says getting outside the house at least once a day. Yes, I will ditto that. I will say every single day, I don't care what the weather is. I don't care if it's pouring down rain. Get out there and smell the rain. Let some rain hit you in the face. Worse things could happen to you, right? Just get out there and just feel and experience the outside. It's part of a regimen of self-care that he uses to care for his small wounded self, that he's the adult and can take care of himself and take care of the scared, wounded part that doesn't trust. So he makes the getting outside a part of a getting regular hours of sleep, a regimen of self-care, getting regular hours of sleep, 3 meals a day, he said, at the time when meals are supposed to be eaten. So, so note that. And exercise, getting some form of exercise. He says, I proved to myself, to my scared small self, that I'm trustworthy in taking care of myself and that I'm here for myself. And that's building relationship with oneself. That is really part of our growing up and part of our integration, part of our bringing whatever difficulties, challenges, wounds from different stages of our lives that has been unhealed or unmet. This is an opportunity for us as adults and awareness to take care of ourselves, parent ourselves in some way. Hafiz said, I wish I could show you, when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being. Because you know what? Our lights have never gone out. Whether we can see them or not, they exist, they are real, we are a part of some greater whole. Our lights do not go out, even if we sit in what feels like deep darkness of our own hearts. And others can see very often what we can't see for ourselves. May you find some tool from some of this evening that will help you to see how it is that you might actually utilize these things in your life and find a way to exercise self-mastery and discovery and ultimately healing and transformation. This is our destiny. These are the tools. God bless you.
Thank you for watching this message today. I'd like to invite you to join us in person here on campus at Unity of Houston for Sunday morning or Wednesday evening services. If you can't be with us here on our campus, you can still join us live on Facebook or on our website, unityhouston.org, Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Central.